Hi there, and welcome to your yoga class. This week we will be concentrating on some hand and wrist and arm stretches. We will have a full round practice, but a lot of the moves and stretches will be geared towards those areas. Sometimes when you're sitting at a desk quite a lot on the computer or driving the car or just plain old tensed up. It's really good for you to have a little bit of variation in your yoga practice. So we will get on with it. So come into a nice easy seat, Sukhasana, sitting with your back nice and straight. That's it. And let's just put our hands on our knees, or you can clasp your hands and keep them in between your legs if you like, wherever is comfortable. Relax those shoulders consciously, okay? It's really easy to scrunch them up. Give your head a wee wobble if that helps as well. And let's just shut our eyes. You can keep them open, but it's a little bit easier to focus if they're shut. So let's keep your eyes shut if you can. So we're just going to come to our mats, focus on what we're about to do in our yoga practice. So let's think about our breath. We're going to be breathing in and out through our nose, and we're going to be inhaling and exhaling quite evenly, ideally for a count of 4. I'll count you through it, and what I would like you to think about is filling up this whole abdominal cavity down here, right from your pelvis right up to your collarbone, okay, so that we're using all that capacity that's in there. Okay, so let's take a nice big deep breath in. That's it, and you should start from the bottom when you inhale, okay? So think about bringing it up from the bottom and then exhale and help push that air out with your core. And it's a nice way to start activating your core as well. So let's keep doing that. So let's breathe in, 2, 3, and 4 up to that collarbone, remember, and exhale 2, 3, and 4. Remember, you're starting from the bottom, and really both times you're pushing it out as well, okay? So inhale 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, and 4, and exhale 2, 3, and 4. A couple more. Inhale 2, 3, and 4, and exhale 2, 3, and 4. And do a couple on your own now, okay? And you can adjust that count. If it's a 3 and 3 or a 5 and 5, that's fine. But just focus on that breath. Focus on it getting to the areas that you maybe wouldn't normally have your breath going to, and just do a couple on your own. And then we will settle on an exhale and then gently open your eyes. And hopefully you're already feeling a little bit refreshed and more ready to go. Even just by breathing like that, what we've done is we've probably lowered the heart rate a little bit, and your blood pressure as well, just by breathing like that. And it's just a great introductory to your practice. It's great to do any time, don't get me wrong, but especially good at the beginning of yoga. So let's stay in our easy seat and really just concentrate on feeling your shoulders settle, and even take one hand and cross over and actually give yourself a bit of a massage on those shoulders, a bit of self-massage, and it's actually surprising how good it feels. It's better if someone else is doing it, but second best is fine. And then take the other hand, cross over, and give yourself a bit of a massage. Now, this is something that we may do throughout our working day or wherever we are, feeling a bit tense, and you do this to yourself, but by doing it a little bit mindfully like this, it actually just brings attention to it, and actually you can feel the tension coming away whilst you're doing it because you're concentrating on it a little bit more. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put our hands straight out in front of us like this, clench your fists and open them up super wide. That's it. Clench, really squeeze, and open them up. That's it. Now, not only is this stretching our hands, it's warming them up, ready for practice, and it's a great preparation for downward dog, tabletop, all those positions that our hands are in this splayed position. So it's getting the blood pumping down there, especially if you've maybe got circulation problems. Really good to start doing this. And then we're going to turn our fingers down the way like this and then flick them up. So you're flicking them down and flicking them up. And then what this does is increases your circulation as well, but it also increases the stretch on the top of your forearm and underneath of your forearm as well. That's it. And just keep going like this. And they're very simple exercises, but by doing them mindfully and taking a little bit of time out to do them, they're so beneficial for you. It's not all about the fancy moves in yoga. Okay? So, from here, we're going to stretch our triceps now. So I want you to lift up the left hand. You'll maybe have done this in the gym. Take the palm of your hand, place it between your shoulder blades like this. And you take the other hand and just sort of rest it on your elbow. You can push it back a little bit to increase that stretch if you want. That's it. And so you should feel a nice big stretch up this tricep like this. That's it. Bring that one down and do the other side. So bring your arm up first, lengthen up the ceiling, then drop that palm to round about beneath, between your shoulder blades. That's it. And pull it down, and you should feel you're sort of reaching down with your palm as much as you can. Now the next one we're going to do is still a tricep stretch. I will turn round so that you can see it. You don't need to turn round though, and it's called a cow face pose. So we're still sitting with our legs crossed. We're going to take that arm up like we did before and put it down like we did before. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this other hand round and we're going to see if we can touch our fingers. So just gently wiggle them down and see if you can join them up like that. Now don't worry if you can't, okay? If you are sitting like this, you can quite easily sit like that. Or if you've got a strap as well, you can do that until you can get to the other, to holding on. And then you bring that one back down, and then we do the same to the other side. Now you will find, and you'll probably see that I can do this easier on the other side, you're sort of snaking this hand up just a little bit. That's it. You might need to turn your hand round, and there we go. Okay, so I definitely find it easier on this side. And we hold it there for a few breaths. So let's give that a little try. Okay, it's a bit strange we've not done it before. So let's lift up that left hand, put it down between our shoulder blades, and then bring this one, and really make the room. Let's not just shove it behind us. Bring that one round, and then just try and wiggle your hands together. If you've got a strap, use it. If you've got a jumper, you can use that too. And if not, just keep your hands apart and just do the movement. You don't need to touch. And you just sit here for a wee moment. It's not about touching hands. That is the obvious. That's the bind that we look for. That's what we call it. But the point is to get the stretch. Okay? So then bringing your hands out again and down. Okay? And then up with the right hand. Same thing. Between your shoulder blades. Then really come round with the other hand. Wiggle it about a bit. Get your bearings. That's it. And hold on if you can. If not, stay in that position on your way to holding on. And if you've got a jumper, a strap, now it can be a belt, a strap, dressing gown cord, you name it, doesn't matter. Okay, and this is our cow face arms. Okay, really good for your triceps, your shoulders, and everything. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just a little bit more arms. So we're going to take our right arm and put it across our chest and then hold up like this. You'll maybe have done this before. Don't hold it on your elbow joint, okay, just because it compromises the elbow a little bit, and pull it back. And this will give this part of your shoulder a nice old stretch as well. That's it. And then bring it down. Same on the other side. Bring this arm across and bring it up. That's it. Shouldn't be too much effort to do this once you get that hand in place. That's it. So from here we're going to do a bit of a different cat-cow. We sometimes start, we do that in our hands and knees, but I'll show you from this side. So stay in your easy seat, okay? And we're going to interlace our hands like this, okay? And bring them up above our head. And we're going to look up, and this is our cow pose. We're going to inhale and look up, and then exhale, bring your hands forward, arch your back, and tuck your chin into your chest, and exhale, okay? Inhale. Look up as far as you can. That's it. Exhale, tuck that chin. That's it. And keep on your sit bones the whole time. Inhale, look up. Exhale, tuck that chin, curve your back, and your hands come forward. That's it. Inhale, look up. Exhale, tuck that chin in. Just a couple more of these. And you can see and feel that we're obviously doing the cat-cow movement to warm up the core, stretch the spine, but you're also getting that great arm stretch in with it. That's it. And one more, look up at your hands and come back down, tuck your chin. That's it. That feels nice, doesn't it? So, we'll do last one on our bottoms and then we'll go onto our tabletop. So what we're going to do is a seated twist. So we take the right hand, put it on our left knee, and we've done this one before. So inhale, that's it. Inhale and lengthen your spine. Exhale and turn and look round to the back if you can. And every time you inhale, lengthen the spine. Every time you exhale, crawl round with your fingers to increase the twist. That's it. And do just a couple of inhales and exhales here. That's it. And come around to the front again. Same on the other side. Okay? So you're taking your left hand and putting that on your right knee. Other one behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, turn around. And every time you inhale, lengthen your spine. Every time you exhale, crawl round a bit further. If you've reached your limit, that's fine. Just inhale and exhale where you are. That's it. Wonderful. And then come round to the front. So we're going to come on to our tabletop now. Now we're going to stretch our wrists a little bit first of all here. So make sure you're nice and square as normal, okay? And you're going to turn your hands right around if you can, okay? Now, if you can't manage that, don't worry, just keep your hands in the normal position. Right, so if you can do that, wonderful, okay? But if that's too much, please just keep your hands pointing forward. Now, if you're here, and that's just about enough for you, just stay on right here, don't move. But if you'd like to dial it up a bit, move those hips back, and you will feel very quickly the stretch takes hold quite soon into that movement. Okay, so it's the tiniest of movements, but you will feel it right up. That's it. And it's also, not only is it stretching the underside of your forearm there, it's also a very good counter stretch for things like downward dog, you know, because your wrists are in exactly the sort of opposite position. That's it. And then come back up. Okay, let's just do one more of them. Now remember, if you want to have your wrists round like that, that's fine. You can just come back a wee bit and tuck that navel into your spine. So let's go. Turn your hands round. Come back a bit if you want. Okay, because it is quite a strong one, this one. And to the onlooker, it'll look like you're not doing much. But we know what we're doing. That's it. Wonderful. Come back round. Sit back on your toes. And then just give your hands a wee circle. Your wrists a wee circle. And give them a wee squeeze as well. Okay? As it can be quite a strong stretch, that one. So we're going to do the tabletop again. I'm going to face you this time to show you what to do. And we're going to stretch laterally this time. So we're on our hands and our knees like this. Nice tabletop, shoulders above your wrist, hips above your knees as usual. But what we're going to do is we're going to try and keep straight and just turn our head this way, okay? So try and keep your shoulders straight, and you're going to try and just sort of almost turn your spine. And try not kind of come over like this. Okay, so try and keep your hands and shoulders straight, and then you're going to turn your head and look at the left first of all. That's it, because we're curving the spine this way. That's it. Come back to the middle, and it's very slow and very deliberate. So we'll turn round again. That's it. Wonderful. Back to the middle, one more each side. That's it. Round again. Back to the middle. And round to the other side. Very slow but deliberate movements this week. So what we're going to do now is a puppy dog pose. Great for stretching the arms. So remember, from your tabletop, if you start with a good tabletop, the rest is easy most of the time. But if you're on your tabletop, you can keep your toes tucked or your feet flat. It's up to you. And try and keep those hips above those knees, okay? It's really tempting in this one to do this, but we're not doing that. That's a child's pose. So keep that up and just walk your hands forward like that and try and keep those hips up. Now you can just put your forehead on the mat if you want, okay? Or you can put your chin in the mat and that increases that stretch. But you'll feel it. Where you should feel it is up those triceps, right into your armpits, round the back of your shoulder blades, and you will feel a stretch in your chest and your abdomen as well. But very good for opening up that shoulder joint. Really, really good for that. And just stay here. Remember those hips. It's easier, admittedly, if you're in front of the mirror, you can see where your hips are. But just try the best you can. That's it, and there should be no pain, anything like that. So gently walk yourself back up. That's it. And sit back on your heels a little bit. So I hope you're feeling okay. So now we are going to come up into our downward dog. So let's come up into our downward dog. Let's come to tabletop again. Always good to start in tabletop. Tuck those toes and then pop that bottom right up, okay? So you're on your tiptoes and then come back. Adjust your feet as you need to and your hands. It doesn't need to be perfect when you first come up. Walk that dog because your legs will still be quite tight. We've been sitting down for the last 5-10 minutes or so. That's it. Walk that dog with your knees bent. Remember, your hands are splayed at the front, nice and wide. Your fingertips are pointing forward, and that forefinger and thumb is where most of the grip is. That's it. Press your fingertips into the mat. Remember, your knees can be bent, okay? I'd rather that than, straight legs and your heels are way up here. Better to have your heels up and your knees bent because then at least you're getting a lovely shape in your downward dog and it's the right position. So we're here in our downward dog and we're going to take our right leg up into a three-legged dog. Okay? So remember, nothing changes. All you're doing is lifting your leg. All your legs and knees and hips and everything are pointing the same way. That's it. And we're going to take your knee to your tricep. So take that knee up like that. Okay, now if this is too tough, you can go down on your knee if you want and be doing this, okay? That is an option for you, all right? But other than that, up like this. So knees at the tricep and bring it back up. Then we're going to bring your knee to your nose and shift that weight forward when you do it. Back up. So bring your knee to your nose again. Shift forward. See how I'm moving forward in the ball of my foot? Back up again, and then we're going to come and put our foot on the floor between your hands. So remember, foot forward as much as you can into your chest and then pop it down. Okay, don't worry if it only gets halfway. Reposition yourself, reset. It's the first lunge of your practice. So we're here in our low lunge. Remember, if that's too much, you can put your knee down. But other than that, the back leg is lovely and straight. Hands are flat on the floor, or you can have them tented. Your knee is above your ankle, okay? And your core is nice and firm, okay? To give you a good foundation in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back into the half split. So we put the back knee down anyway. So even if you've got the knee up, the knee comes down. And then we come back, shift the weight back in those hips. You might have to adjust this front foot because you're going to put the heel on the floor. Like that, and this is a half splits. Now ideally your hip should still be above your knee like that, but the front leg as straight as you can. Now it can be bent, but as long as you're feeling that stretch, okay? So back foot's tucked, hip is over knee, this leg is straight, and you're feeling the big stretch up here. Okay, so you can stay like this. You can be up in blocks as well if you've got blocks, or if you want to, you can come further down as well. Do whatever suits you, okay? But this front foot is flexed. Keep that flexed the whole time. And you'll feel a lovely stretch up the back here. Back of your leg there. Well, I hope you do anyway. That's it. And then just pop that foot back on the mat. Take your time. Walk your hands forward and come back up to low lunge. Wonderful. So shift that foot back into downward dog. Just like that. That's it. Walk the dog if you need to. Then bend your knees. Swivel the feet to turn left. Feel that lovely stretch up your left hand side for twisted dog. That's it. And then back to the middle and bend your knees again. Go to the right for a twisted dog on the right. Come back to the middle. That's it. Take time to get your downward dog correct, remember. And remember to breathe. Very easy to forget to breathe properly. That's it, in and out through your nose. Then lift your left leg up. That's it. Now remember, we're going to come in and go to the tricep. Shift that weight forward in the ball of your foot. Back up. That's it, as high as you can manage it. Then knee into your nose. That's it. Back up. Remember, you can go down on the other knee if this is too much. Knee into the nose again. That's it. And back up. Now we're going to put the front foot between the legs. So, the hands. So we take this left foot, bring it into your chest again, shift the weight forward, and put your foot down as delicately as a ballerina. I'm kidding. Just put the leg wherever it comes. Don't worry about it. It can take a while to get it to come right through. So remember, you're on your hands here, or on your tented fingers, or on blocks as well. That's it. And remember, you can put your back knee down. But let's just do the low lunge first and rushing through, because we're going to put our back knee down. So just make time, and you can look ahead as well in your low lunge and make sure you feel that nice stretch. So back down on your knee, and we're going to do the splits on this side. So move back first of all, and then you maybe have to just start moving that front foot forward like that. So try and get that hip over the knee and the front leg straight. That's it. Front foot is flexed, back toes are tucked, and we are here, okay? So just stay there, or if you want more of a stretch, walk those hands forward, but don't curve your back. You're hinging from the hips, okay? So come down as far as you can, because it's quite an intense stretch, this one, in case you hadn't noticed. That's it. Stay there for a few wee seconds, and then gently put that front foot down. Bring up that back knee, and you're in your low lunge again. So shift that foot back into downward dog. That's it. Stay here just for a minute. Let's reset. Think about your feet pointing forward. That's it. Walk the dog if you need to. That's it. And then we're going to come forward to plank pose. That's it. So I want you to bend your knees, tuck that core in, and do a nice wave up. So it's not, it's not quite as rigid and as, so we're here in the downward dog, bend your knees, tuck your core. That's it. Consciously, and then roll forward, because that helps you get your core involved. Now remember, you can put your knees down here if you want. If not, let's feel that juicy plank. That's it. And then put your knees down anyway. Untuck your toes and come right down to the floor. Lovely. So from here, we are going to do a sphinx or a seal stretch, just depending on whatever one suits you. So a sphinx is putting your hands up beside you like this, backs of the tops of the feet on the floor, and coming up like this. Watch your lower back, okay? Try and have your hands or your elbows at 90 degrees. That's it. And this is quite good for strengthening your arms. Now, if this isn't enough for you, you can move your hands forward and out a little bit and come up like this into seal stretch. That's it, and that gives your arms a lovely stretch as well. And the lower back, you should feel that on your lower back, but it shouldn't be sore. That's it. Arms are getting a lot of work today, aren't they? That's it. And then come back down and just make a little pillow with your hands and rest your forehead on it. Take nice deep breaths. Concentrate on that breathing. Just take a moment to settle yourself. So we're going to do a couple of forearm planks. Now we'll try and hold them for a few seconds. Try and hold them for as long as you can. Okay, we're not going to be breaking any records or anything like that. But basically you're going to come up to that sort of sphinx position again. But you're going to tuck your toes this time. And we're going to really, really, really use the core, because this is all about the core here. So we're on a forearm plank, which is this, okay? So body really as flat as possible, and your feet are hip width apart, arms are shoulder width apart, and you're holding it, okay? So we'll come up and we'll hold it for 5 seconds. 5 elephant seconds. But if you need to, put your knees down, but do try, if it's painful, don't continue holding it. But if it's just a little bit tough, continue holding it if you can. So are we ready? And up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And bring it down. Hope that wasn't too bad. We'll do a couple of these. Okay, stay where you are. Regroup and back up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back down. That's it, and one more, I think. Remember, you can put your knees down if you need to. Ready, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Knees down. Bring your knees in. Come and sit back up, because this gives your feet a lovely stretch. Your knees, the toes are tucked. You're getting a lovely stretch up the back there. And what to do is take these hands, interlace them behind your back, like this. Okay, so we're not pushing them down. We're just interlacing them and then push them down. That's it. Great counter stretch, this one. Now you can stay there, or if you want, you can bring them out as well. It just increases the stretch over your shoulder area. So just stay here for a wee minute. Lovely after a plank. That's it. Right, so let's come up to downward dog again. So come to tabletop, tuck those toes, and up to downward dog. That's it. Remember your positioning. Really engage those thighs. Sit bones are up and back. That's it. Stay here just for a couple of seconds. That's it. And then come back down on your knees, and we're going to do a side plank this time. Okay, so we'll start on the left hand side, on your left arm. Couple of options here. Okay, you can either be on your forearm. Now pad this up if you need to. Use a blanket or a jumper or whatever is around to pad it up. You shouldn't have any pain in your elbow at all. Okay, now your feet can either be stacked like this, or they can be one in front of each other. It's harder if they're stacked, okay? So if you're not sure, just start off with them one in front of each other. And this hip is the most really important thing, okay? So up like this and hand up, okay? And just hold it for as long as you can. That might be 1 second, it might be 20 seconds. So if you come up, it's like this. I'll show you the variations now. You can obviously stack these feet like this. That's it. Or you can come up and go up straight on your hand. So again, you can stack your feet, or you can have them one in front of the other. But this hip is where it matters, okay? So we'll hold them for a few seconds, all right? So on your forearm, or whatever one you think. You might start off too easy, so then change it up after the next one. Okay, so let's go up and put your hand up. Now you can turn and look at your hand if you want. That's it. And make sure your elbow's under your shoulder, so you're kind of stacking it properly. Makes it a little bit easier. That's it. And come back down. Lovely. That's it. Remember, you can be up as well on your hand. That's obviously a little bit harder. So let's go up. That's it. And hold it just for a few seconds. Seems like forever, doesn't it? That's it. And then come down. And let's swivel around our bottoms and do the other side. That's it. So same rules apply. This side might be different. I know my shoulder's certainly a lot weaker on this side, so it might be the same for you. Give it a try. Okay, you never know, but one side is generally stronger, weaker than the other. So just see how you get on. Remember, and pad that elbow up. Remember your feet position as well, either stacked or one in front of you. That is the easier option. Bigger centre of gravity, basically, okay? So let's go up. That's it. Hand up as well. And it's good to have the hand up rather than here, because it actually makes you be a wee bit more aligned, especially if you're looking at your hand. And remember those hips, up, up, up. That's it, and back down. And your body should be as straight as possible. Harder than it looks, I know. Lots of things to remember all the time, isn't there? That's it. So we'll go up again in whatever variation. And make sure you're nice and steady. Don't be toppling over. That's it. And come back down. Excellent. Give the elbows a wee rub if they've been a wee bit sore. So let us come on up to our downward dog again. So up and back. That's it. Stay here for a wee second, and we're going to walk our legs up towards our hands. That's us. Now we're going to do a forward fold. So remember, feet together. And you can have your knees bent if you want to. Try and get your hands on the floor regardless. Okay, so if that means you're like this, that's fine. But try and put your hands on the floor.
palms down, or you can have tented palms, and if you need to bend your knees, that's absolutely fine, because then what you can do is sort of start working on straightening the legs. Okay, then we go up on our fingertips and look ahead and make that spine lovely and straight. That's it. Then we circle sweep our arms up, look at our thumbs, and bring them back down to our sides again. Excellent. So from here, we're just going to do a couple of balancey things. I always like to put in one or two in the practice. Obviously, it depends how many times you practice per week. But a wee balance in the practice is always good. It keeps your hand in, because it's amazing how quickly you can sort of lose it. It's the same with anything, isn't it? But it's always good to do a wee balance. So we are going to do a standing balance. So we're going to start by balancing on the right leg. Okay, so just before you lift your foot up, think about your foot, splay your toes out, make sure it's a really, really sturdy base, because that's what's going to be taking the pressure here. And we're going to be doing, we can do variations of this. We're either going to be lifting the leg up and holding on to it like this, so it will look like this from the side. Okay, so you can do that one. Or if you want to, you can lift the leg. That's it. Put your hand in your waist and straighten the leg so it's straight out. We'll do that from the side. Now, you don't have to have a completely straight leg. If you can balance but your leg's a wee bit bent, let's crack on with that. That's absolutely fine, because that's on your way to getting your leg straight. So let's stand there like that. Hold on to your toe first with your 2 fingers. Okay, that's it. Hold on. And then bring it out straight. Now, it's really important to try and straighten this standing leg and keep this chest up. So rather than this, you're up here. Easier said than done, I know. But give it a try, okay? Then after that, we're going to turn the leg out to the side and then back in. Possibly all in the one. See how you get on, okay? So pick your variation, remember. Hand on the hip anyway. Hold on to your knee if you want to, or hold on to your foot. Okay, so lift up into your position. I'm going to stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then move that leg out to the side or knee and look to the other way. That's it. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back in. Stay up. Stay there for a couple of seconds. Now let it go and stand like this with your toe pointed. If you can. Standing leg nice and straight, chest up, okay, we don't want you leaning back, and we're staying here for a few seconds, and down, okay. Quite tough, I know, to balance for that amount of time. So that means if, when you're doing the hand to big toe thing, if you're really struggling with it, just stay holding your knee and go out to the side, because balancing for that amount of time on its own is hard enough. So challenge yourself. The usual rules apply. Challenge yourself. But don't be falling all over the place and getting sort of, I can't do this. Balancing's like that, I'm afraid. It can take a lot of work. So let's do the other side. Let's try and do it all in a oneer. If that means hanging on to the knee, that's fine. I'll hang on to the knee with you. Put the other hand on the hip. Hold on to your knee. Concentrate on that standing leg, nice and straight, and focus. 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg out to the side. Look to the other side. That's it. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back round nice and steady for a couple of breaths. And then you keep it up like this. Just let go, put your hand on your waist and point that toe. And obviously bring it up as high as you can, but do not compromise the chest when you're doing that. Okay? And then back down. It's a doozy, that one, isn't it? What can be so hard, just lifting a leg up? It's quite hard, but if you work on it enough, you'll be surprised actually at how much progress you can make. So well done. So now we're going to do another balance. It's a figure 4 chair this time we're going to do. Normally we do a chair, okay, or whatever variation that we do. So we're going to do a figure 4 chair, which means we are going to cross our left leg over like this. Now make sure this foot stays flexed. Make sure that you're not like this and compromising your ankle. Make sure it's right over there and does resemble a figure 4. Keep your knee out as much as possible, so none of that really. Okay, I'll turn around to the side so you can see it a little bit better. So we're going to go here. Now if that is enough for you,
standing on one foot. Because remember, we've just done standing balances, so you might be a wee bit fatigued as well. You can stand there just in prayer position, or you can start to come into chair pose. Same rules, hips and knee back. And remember, you're on one knee, so it's going to feel very different. And come down. That's it. Try and keep your weight in the heel. Focus your vision on one spot, helps a lot. Feel that hip opening while you do that. Feel how it changes as you bend over. That's it. And then gently come back up. That's it, slowly, and then put the hand down. So do whatever variation. If you can go into chair a bit, great. But do what you need to do, okay? That's what's so good about yoga. Everybody can do it. It's just what stage you go to. And if you're honest with yourself, you'll find you progress really, really quickly. Rather than I probably go the other way and I try to do all the, the kind of balance and stuff. And then I get, quite downhearted when I can't do it. So I've had to learn to really slow down and go back to basics. Everyone has their challenges. So let's do the other side. Cross that leg over again. Remember, figure 4. Keep that knee nice out and stand here if you want. Nice and strong in that standing leg. Other than that, you're going to come back to your chair pose. That's it. Weight is in your heel, and you should feel your hips opening as you do that, okay? Wobbling is fine, and it is natural, okay? If you really need to hang on, you can do. But I would rather you probably just stood up like this and didn't hang on, if that makes any sense. Okay, and then come back down. Well done. Your legs will be feeling that because we've done a fair bit of balancing on our legs there. And unless you do that every day, it will be a challenge for you. Okay, so we're just going to do one more. We're just going to do one more. Okay, we're going to do a warrior 3, which is, again, I'll do it from the side because it's a bit easier to see. So you start with your hands in prayer position. Lift that knee up. Now try and make it sort of a nice boxy shape, nice 90-degree angle, okay? And if that's enough, stay there, okay? So other than that, what you're going to do is really bring this leg back and tip forward at the same time. Now you might be here, that's absolutely fine, okay? Don't go further than you feel comfortable with. Keep this leg nice and strong. You're basically bringing that leg right out the back, heel up, and wanting to come to this sort of position here. That's it, with your leg parallel to the ground. So go as far as you can, okay? So come back up. If this is enough for you, absolutely fine. And if you find even by shifting, because see when you shift in a balance, everything has to switch on. That's it, all the receptors are going mad. And so you need to sort of just try and figure out what's safe for you. So then remember, it comes back like this. And if this is enough for you, that's absolutely great. If you've never been able to do that before, and now you can do this. And it's all about getting that counterbalance right as well. Because if you tip forward too much, you're going to tip forward. So just take it slowly and just try and get as far forward as you can. And it's just as much of a brain exercise as physical. That's it. And it's getting that fine line. That's it. And then come back up. But don't just dump your leg. Come back up to the front. And gently place your leg down. Done a couple of standing balances now. So it's a very fine line between warming up, preparing for doing this, and my legs are a bit jiggered now, for want of a better word. So yeah, when you're doing your own practice, you can gauge it a wee bit more. Okay, let's do the other side. So stand there. You know the rules now. Hands in prayer position. Lift that leg up. Okay. And then just play about with it. Come forward, don't rush. This side might be better, it might be worse. That's it, coming forward. Staying there, fixing your gaze, heel is up, no pointy toes. That's it, and then coming forward. Remember, don't dump the leg. Knee up and down. Because see by that, tempting as it is to dump your leg back down, half of the strengthening act and balancing act is coming back. So you're kind of cheating yourself if you just dump it down, because you're getting more out of the exercise if you come back in a nice and controlled manner. I know that's easy to say. It's different if you think, that's it, I'm going to take a clatter if I don't boom. Don't be falling over, okay? So well done. These are things you can practice. It's always advisable to warm up first. So you could do a couple of sun salutations, something to warm up first. And you can practice them anytime at all. You don't need to wait for my class. You can practice them anytime at all, but please do be careful. So let us go to the front of the mat, okay? And we are going to do just a couple, take a vinyasa down to the floor. So let's lift our hands up, look at your thumbs, push up with those fingertips, palms together, fold forward at your waist, put your hands on the floor, bend your knees if you need to. Look up onto your fingertips or put your hands in your legs if you need to, but nice straight legs if you can. Put your hands where you need to. Then plant your hands on the floor, jump or step back into lunge. Plank, getting ahead of myself there. And then you can put your knees down or you can come straight down to the floor with control, please. Put your hands in by your ribs, top of the feet on the floor, and come up to your cobra position. That's it. So remember with this, try and keep a slight bend in the arms. Shoulders are over your wrists and shoulders are nice and relaxed. That's it. Trace that line down the wall onto the mat and you'll feel that pelvis starting to lift already. Tuck the toes. Let's see if we can get up in a runner. If not, you can go to tabletop before downward dog. But let's come up into downward dog. Nice. That's it. And you should feel this downward dog getting a bit easier every time you do it. And we're going to lift that right leg up. That's it. And put it between our hands. That lovely forward step that you all love. That's it. So we're going to come up to a crescent lunge. You can put the back knee down here and come up to in fact, everyone just put your back knee down. Come up like this. Toes tucked at the back. And we're here, okay? Now it's good if you can get a nice boxy shape. If you want more of a stretch, wiggle that foot forward and get more of a stretch, but just make sure that knee is over your ankle, okay? Adapt it to what you need, okay? So we're here now. You can stay here, okay? Or you can just lift that back leg up, okay? Nothing else moves though, okay? You're literally just straighten that back leg. This front knee shouldn't move at all. So you can lift that back leg up and let's bring our hands up. That's it. And look up if you can. You can put that back knee down if you want. Other than that, feel your feet planting into your yoga mat. Stretch up nice and tall. That's it. That's it. And then back knee down again with control. That's it. And then we're going to come and bring your hands down and then come up to kneeling. Okay, so we're here now. And we're going to try a half camel, okay? A camel is when you're bent back and you're holding on to your heels. So we're going to do it on one side, okay? So the side we're going to do it on is the side that you are lunging forward on, okay? So what you're going to do, because part of obviously tonight is your arm stretches and your wrist stretches and hands, you're going to bring it back a bit like swimming, bringing it back, toes are tucked at the back. Now this doesn't need to reach, okay? You're going to go back, that's it. Try and get to your heel and bring this hand up like that. Okay, so look up at that other hand. If you can't touch your heel, just reach back. That's it, or if you've got a block. So we're looking like this, big stretch up the side in that arm. And a bit of a back bend going on too. That's it, and then come forward again, okay? So that again, nothing should be hurting with that one. So come back into your low lunge. So pop that right foot between your hand again and come back into your low lunge. That's it. Pop the right foot back up into downward dog. That's it. Walk towards your hands. Keep your hands on the floor. Forward fold. Exhale. Then inhale all the way up. And we'll do it on the other side. Come back down. That's it. Are we ready? Inhale. Look up at your hands. That's it. Exhale, fold forward from your hips, hands on the mat, bend your knees if you need to. That's it. Inhale, up onto your fingertips, look ahead, plant those hands, step back to plank pose. Okay, try and stay up for this one, and then we'll lower down to the floor. Okay, come up to your cobra or up dog if you want to. Remember those soft arms in cobra.
tuck the toes, and come straight up to downward dog. That's it. So this time we're doing our left hand side. Lift that left leg up, bring it forward between your feet. Just like that. Now remember, you can put that back knee down if you want to do your crescent lunge. Okay, come on, put your hands on your knee. So you can be here with a nice boxy shape. You can wiggle that foot forward. Watch that knee on the floor as well. Pad it up if you need to. That's it. Or you can get even more of a stretch. Or if you're going to come up slowly with control, just come up. Straightening the back leg. That's it. Okay, so up to your crescent lunge. Looking up. Nice and strong. Get that nice stretch. That's it. Then put your back knee down. That's it. Hands on your knee. And then come back to kneeling. And we'll do a camel on the other side. Okay. Now, if it's too much for you, if you found you didn't like that on the other side, there is an alternative for you. You can put both your hands just above your bottom bum. That's it. And what you can do is concentrate on lifting this chest up and bringing your head up, okay? So you can just lift your chest up like this, okay? Hips forward. That's it. So you can do that as an alternative if you want to. Okay, but give it a try. Give the half camel a try. So you're tucking your toes, remember, makes it a bit easier to reach. That's it. Take that left hand back. That's it. Feel for your foot. If you can't find it, that's fine. You can reach down towards it and bring that hand up. That's it. So you should have a lovely sort of half back bend here. And your breathing might be a bit restricted. That's okay. Don't worry about that. That's it. And then come back down again. And if you were doing that, that's a perfectly acceptable alternative. Okay, so hands on the mat again. Bring that left foot forward to between your hands and back foot into lunge, okay? So we're in our lunge position. Come up to downward dog. That's it. And then from here, we're going to sit down. So fold in your knees and come to cross leg position if you want, or just come down onto your knees and do whatever you need to come and sit down. So we are going to do Navasana, which is boat pose. As usual, variations for it all, don't you worry. So variations are, as long as you remember your chest is always up as much as possible. It's super tempting to do this in this pose, but we're not going to do that. Okay, we are going to bring up our knees like this. So we're trying to keep quite an acute angle here, like this, and shins parallel to the floor. Now, hold on, don't be hauling on the back of your legs, but you can be here, that's absolutely fine, or here. Okay, keep the chest up. And if you want to, you can straighten the legs, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, it's a bit harder, straightening the legs, but we're here, and then we come back down. And when we come back down, and instead of just sort of sitting, resting, we are going to keep your legs crossed, put your hands on the floor, see if you can lift your bum up off the floor. Okay, so put your hands beside your hips and see if you can lift your bum up off the floor, just a bit, even if you feel a bit of air. Okay, if you don't, that's fine. Just take the sort of position anyway, okay? So I'll do it from the side next time so you can see. So next Navasana, choose your position and come up. That's it. That's nice in our boats today, in our yoga lesson. That's it. Now come down, cross those legs, place your hands down and lift your bum up. Okay? That's all you're doing. If you can't get your bum up, put your hands down anyway and tighten that core and try, okay? Because by trying, you're starting the muscle memory process, okay? You'll never get there if you don't try as well. So one more, Navasana. Come up and pick, and if you want to straighten your legs, that's absolutely fine, okay? But just do what you can. Keep this chest up, okay? As long as you're not like this, that's the main thing. Here we go. And then again, come back down, and let's do a little lift again. Hands on the mat, lift up. That's it, okay? And back down. That's it. Remember, it's all about your shoulders and your arms tonight. We've done a lot of stretching. And we've done a lot of strengthening as well. Okay, so we are going to come right back onto the floor. You will be glad to hear. That's it. So we're going to come onto our back first of all and do our morning stretch. So point your toes, point your hands like that. That's it. And then what you're going to do is bring your hands sort of down. Cactus arms, I would like to say. So they're by your side, they're coming out from your body, but your elbows are bent. That's it. And that gives you a lovely stretch across your chest and your arms. That's it. And bring those knees up. Okie dokie. And we are going to cross one over the other. So let's cross our right leg over the left. Hold on to the inside of your thigh, or round the back of your thigh, and pull it in for a bit of a reverse pigeon. Okay, that gives the back of your shoulders a nice wee stretch, and also gives your hip. You can feel that in your right hip. That's it. Just let's stay here for a little minute. That's it. Bring that back down. Do the other side. Left over right, and remember the heels stay flexed. Don't be on your ankle as well. That's it. Heels are flexed. You can sit with your head up if you want, but that's hard work. Just put it on the mat. That's it. Wonderful. And bring it back down. And before our Shavasana, we're going to do a frontal stretch, okay? Well, not a frontal stretch, but we're going to lie on our front and we're going to thread the needle on our front, okay? So lie down on your front. Have your cactus arms again. So we're like this. You can put your forehead on the floor. Okay, now what you're going to do is take the right arm, there's a hole there, just here, you're going to put your arm through there. So put your arm through there and put your head on the floor. So you still get this cactus arm, your arm's coming out underneath it though, and you'll feel that coming across your back, okay? And it's stretching your shoulder area as well. Really nice to do it lying down. That's it. Back of the hands on the floor at the front here. Feel that stretch across your shoulders. So done a lot of planks and things like that tonight as well. And even doing those wee balances in between our Navasana boats. We were pushing down and trying to lift up. All of those are strengthening. So let's come up again. Cactus arms, the side forehead on the floor. And do the other side. Poke your hand through that wee hole. That's it. Head on the floor. Back of the hands on the floor. And you're totally relaxed really. Your face might not get to the floor. But as long as you're feeling that stretch across your shoulders, that's absolutely fine. That's it. So gently coming up. And at this point, you can get ready for your Shavasana. So if you normally have a much longer Shavasana, that's absolutely fine. Feel free to just switch me off and do your own thing. But as usual, I'll speak to you a little bit. Leave you alone for a little bit and then bring you back out again. So let's get nice and comfy. Socks, blankets, eye masks. I'm sure you know what makes you the most comfy, and let's lie back for our Shavasana. Legs sort of mat width apart, hands out to the side, palms facing up. Okay, so let's get nice and comfy. That's it. Well done, all that arm stretching. So we're going to just lie back and get the fruits of our labour now. That's what this section is for. And however tempting it is to skip it, and I know it's tempting to skip it, you're thinking, oh, I've got the ironing to do, I've got work to do, I know it is, but this is the bit where you get all the goodness out of it. You've sure had a good stretch, but this is the most restorative phase of your practice, so really important that you make time for it. So let's lie back and concentrate on your breath coming in and out through your nose, and just think about that. If you find your mind wandering, think about your breath coming in when you breathe in through your nose and how nice and cool it is coming in. And then think about it on the way out, how nice and warm it is coming back out. Think about how efficient your body is and how clever it is. And think about how good you're going to be feeling and how good you're going to sleep after this practice. You've had a really good stretch. We've been breathing fairly rhythmically, probably in most cases for most of the practice. And you're just going to feel yourself just settling down onto the mat and feel how comfy you are and how nice it is to take a bit of time for yourself and to just
not think about anything for a few minutes because there's a lot to think about a lot of the time, and this is your time to just attempt to stop that. So if you find your mind wandering, remember, bring it back to your breath and just try and settle in and just enjoy the nice fatigued feeling that you've got and let all those toxins drain away that we've rustled up, and that will help your muscles recover a wee bit quicker, and it will help you as well. So just take your time, settle down, and relax. Gently, just coming to, and gently just bringing yourself back into the room after a period of rest, and start you moving parts of your body, a little movement in the fingers, a little movement in the toes. Give your legs a tiny wee shake just to sort of get moving again. And then roll onto your right side when you've woken up a little bit. Okay, there is no rush at this point, really no rush. Feel how nice it is to have relaxed to that degree. If you've fallen asleep, that's absolutely fine as well. You obviously needed it. So taking your time, slowly make your way up to sitting. Very controlled manner. That's it. Really take your time. And sit with your legs crossed and your hands at your heart. I hope this practice heals and strengthens your body and your mind. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me. So, I hope you all have a good day or a good sleep, depending on what time of the day that you've done this at. As I say, we've done a lot of arm stretches, wrists and hands tonight. So we've strengthened them and we've relaxed them and stretched them as well. So we'll do something different every single week. If there's any requests, any areas of the body, or it doesn't have to be an area of the body. If you want to do some yoga for specific anxiety, anything like that, anything at all, just please message me. I am sure we will have something that can help you out. As it goes, I try to cover lots of these things anyway. We do lots of yoga. Yoga itself is very detoxing anyway, but we can do specific routines for that too. So, I hope you enjoyed the practice. Thank you for joining me again. I really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. See you later.